Welcome to Mommy's Black Book Podcast, the ultimate me time where we spill the tea.
From motherhood to sexcapades and everything in between, grab the wine,
Because it's girl talk time. We're your hosts. I'm Lexi, Lynn.
And I'm Miss Baby May.
All right. Hello, Miss May. We meet yet again.
Hello, dear.
Fancy seeing you here.
What's a girl like you doing in a place like this?
Oh my goodness. Last week, while my father was in town, we're wandering through Walmart and someone that we know pops out. This woman just pops out of the aisle randomly while my back was turned, and she comes up and she like hip bumps me and goes, "Hey there, what's a girl like you doing in a place like this?" And I was like, "Ooh, girl, don't you know it?" And she was like, "Oh my goodness." So we just had a ridiculous banter there, and my father's just back there confused behind me. And so I turn around and I'm like, "Oh yeah, Dad, this is our friend so and so." And she just turns around and like doesn't even miss a beat and just goes, "Hi, Dad." And she's like, "Well, I'm gonna go, but you know." And I was like, "Yeah, this is my life." That just reminded me of that. Cracked me up because he's just like, there's a crazy lady just hip bumping you in the middle of the thing and hitting on you. What's happening?
I love having friends that you could be playful like that with.
Right. It is. It's the best. Like, if you can't be your true self, what are you even being friends for?
Yeah, what are you doing, man? Get out of
You
here.
have enough real family you have to put your best friend up for. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, you know, being in a military family my entire life, I was never in one place longer than like 3 years. So I never formed any like friendships. Like none my entire life.
It's rough.
So it wasn't until I was 25 that I really actually started making friends. Like figuring out what it means to be a friend and like what it means to have a friend, you know?
You know what's funny is I wasn't, it was after I turned 26 or so that I started having real friends. But it also was this area too.
That's true.
Changing scenes made a difference.
New people.
We weren't military, but my mom, after my parents split, she moved around a lot within the town, which switched us school districts constantly. So I never had a consistent elementary school that I was in.
You're always the new girl.
Exactly. And I mean, it wasn't like it was her fault. That's just kind of life when you're newly, single after 14 years. Yeah. You gotta find a place that's affordable to raise your 4 kids in. So, not like as an adult I'm mad about it, but as a kid it sucked that I didn't stay in a school longer than a year at a time, maybe 2, because I was like, man, I have no friends. This is weird. I was always the weird girl out, but I'm still the weird girl out, but I'm finding my weird girl friends.
Shit, man, yeah.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Weird girl club. I'm finding it as I'm getting older. I have a lot of like social anxieties and like being around people, a lot of people, speaking in front of people really weighs me out.
Which is still amazes me because you make it just flawless. And maybe it's because of the way we were introduced. We were introduced by my sister, your friend, someone you'd already were comfortable with. So maybe that helped in your ability to present. Because we met, Miss May and I met in a business sense, essentially.
It was a product party.
Yeah. As we mentioned in the previous episode, Miss May spells pure romance. She's fantastic at it. She's got all the goods, and she's very well educated. We actually would love to do a Q&A episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Ask me all of your questions.
Yeah.
I strive to make the world a better place by providing sexual education to everybody, so please fire away.
Sexual education questions, no matter
questions.
Yeah. No question is off limits.
Exactly.
Shoot them all in, and And when the time is right, we will have a Q&A episode after we've got enough questions to fill an episode.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, that would be great. Maybe do a regular segment, short segment, if we can get... Yeah, send us your questions.
Damn it.
But
yeah. Anyway, tangent.
Yeah.
Tangent queens.
We are.
But
Girls.
That's whatever. Growing up, I have a large amount of social anxiety. And I attribute all of that to moving around all the time and not being able to form those bonds and always having to be the new girl and always having to feel that anxious, nervous first day jitters constantly.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, so like, that's what it is.
But you play it off well.
Thank
you. You roll with those punches better than I think anybody I've ever met.
Oh, thank you. That actually means a lot to me, man.
Yeah. We met doing the Pure Romance. She came over. My sister was having a party, hostessing, and Miss May was the consultant. And I was my sister's guest, and we hosted at my house, and that's how our relationship started.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Started off fun.
It did. It started off with a bang.
Started off fun, and it's been fun ever since.
Yep, but that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So how has your week been?
My week has been decent.
Yeah.
My husband, my poor husband, he has hurt his back really bad. So I've been playing nurse and taking care of him.
Did you break out the short skirt?
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because we were making nurse jokes with someone this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Anyway, finish your week. Tell us all about you.
That's all I did, really. We were really lazy. Play nurse. We are currently binging The Walking Dead because I'm obsessed with it. Fucking obsessed with it. Okay.
What platform are you watching it on?
Netflix.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll have to check it out. See, we have 2 children under the age of 10 in our house, so there's way too much cocoa melon. I mean, under the age of 10, I've got a 1-year-old. There's too much fucking cocoa melon up in this bitch, and I did not start that. I came home, and that shit was on the TV one day, and I was like, no! It's begun. And it's been doomsday for me on the cocoa melon front ever since. It's like, puts him in a trance. It puts the baby in a trance.
That's weird.
It's baby brainwash. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this baby brainwash bullshit? Because it makes me uncomfortable. And it's not even like the show is bad. It's sound dubbed very poorly because they don't put a lot of effort into shows for children under the age of 3.
Right.
But yeah, it's just fucking nursery rhymes that are repeated over and over and over again, and it makes me want to blow my brains out on the side of the wall, and I'm like, no, goddamn. Oh my goodness. My week was not exciting either.
Yeah, it was just a lackluster week. A whole lot of nothing.
I mean, actually, it wasn't fully non-exciting. Okay, so as I mentioned last week, I handed FetLife over to Joe. So the other day, he messaged me while he was at work saying that he had found a woman that he was talking to on FetLife that she seemed pretty, like, interested and already in the lifestyle, you know? And so he was like, we've already switched over to text message. Go on FetLife, check everything out. I'll show you the conversation between she and I when I get home. And I was like, okay, no worries. He asked me, he goes, do you want me to screenshot it and send it to you now? And I was like, no, I'm not that crazy.
No, we'll just discuss it over dinner. It's
fine. We'll wait till you're home from work, okay? And so he goes, well, she's really interested in, like, talking to you too. So is it okay if I give her your number? So at this point, I'm like, yeah, fine. She starts messaging me, and she's texting us both separately. So when we get home, or when he gets home, we're comparing conversations and shit like that. And we decide that we're just going to start a group chat to make it easier. Because we already, told her, we redid our profile. So even in our profile, it states, like, we share this profile, we share the messages that we exchange with each other, there's no secrets. So she was like, yeah, I'm totally down. Let's just start a group chat, make everything so much easier. We'll all be in one conversation. Everything will be out in the open. Sounds great. Which was super awesome. She has a boyfriend who's just super asexual, and so he's just not into it. She's like, not she. He's like, I'm just not into sex. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And
she's like, I'm super into sex. So, they worked out their dynamic, which whatever works for them. But, we decided that we were all hitting it off well enough that we were going to meet up and go out for a date. So Joe and I went out on a date with a woman for the first time over the weekend, which was really great. We met at one of the breweries, and we had some drinks and some wings and fries, and we were there for 6 hours. Yeah, 6 fucking hours. It was a good date. We hit it off really fucking well. And, okay, this has nothing to do with the date itself, but it was really fucking cool. Potentially an omen, if you will, depending on your beliefs. We watched a nest of baby birds get fed by its mama while we were on this date. We just happened to be standing around smoking, and looked up, and there's a mama bird flying into this nest and feeding her brand new little baby chicklings. I have a picture of this freaking happening. It's the coolest picture I think that I have ever freaking taken, including pictures of my children.
Beautiful.
Yeah, like beautiful. Straight up, full on. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. I might have to just post it on OnlyFans because I'm mentioning it here, even though it's
you have to.
Yeah, I will. I'll post it because it's being mentioned.
Which I gotta say, by the way, I've been stalking your page, homegirl.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yes,
I'm interested.
Okay, so this links into the date. She might potentially be interested in creating content with us. She's very intrigued. I sent her a 3-day free link to explore the kind of content that I post on the page and things like that. And she goes, oh no, I studied your page, girl. She knows about you. She mentioned you on our date because I mentioned that she mentioned she's never had 2 guys. And I mentioned that that's funny because that's what we've had more, and we've only ever brought another woman in once. And she goes, was it Miss May? And for a second it threw me off because I had forgotten that I sent her the link to the OnlyFans.
How'd you
know? I was like,
exactly.
I was like, wait, how do you know about Miss May? And then I caught myself and I was like, wait.
Oh, I see you.
She goes, girl, I told you I studied it.
All right.
So yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, yes, that's who it was. But
we have fans.
Yes, we do, apparently. So we were standing there, and we had been drinking, talking for hours. It was going really well. We're smoking, we're watching this baby birds get fed, and I just get really excited, and I I caught myself. I approached her, and then I stopped, and I was like, wait, can I kiss you?
Is that allowed?
Yeah, I was like, we're in a very public setting. Like,
is that okay?
Yeah. So she goes, oh, yeah. And she had only had one drink, mind you. Me and Joe were on, like, drink 4. Because she's like, oh, I can't have more than one. And I was like, whatever, you know your limits. That's fine.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going for it. And we freaking have a very nice kiss.
Yeah.
And then Joe excuses himself to the bathroom.
Oh,
Joe. Yes, he's like, oh shit.
Poor guy.
And then while he's gone, she and I are talking, and I get a message from him, do you mind if I kiss her? And I was like, nah, baby, go for it.
Get it.
And so he comes out, and they kiss, and they have their little, like, quick make out. Because it was not, like, a kiss. It was a kiss. Yeah, it was a kiss.
It was a moment.
Yes, for both of us. And then she stops, and she goes, wait, I need a redo with you. And, yeah, so, like, the 3 of us were just sitting there outside the brewery. We had left the immediate table area, but we were still within, like, people.
Yeah.
You know? But the 3 of us were just standing there, like, taking turns making out there for a minute.
No shame.
No shame at all. And we were just like, you sure you don't want to come home now? And she was like, cool. I gotta go, but, you know, soon. And so we've been talking. We talk pretty much every day. My dogs, you're gonna hear them.
Hi.
Anyway, but we talk all the time. She's a gaming nerd.
Ooh.
So she's teaching me to play Valorant. So actually, before you got here, she and I were gaming together with one of her other friends, and they were teaching me how to play. Because I was like, I've never done the shooting games. I'm open world explorer type games. Pumpkin, get out of here. Go lay down. You're fucking up shit.
Oh, no.
She's not fucking up shit. We love her. And if you don't like dogs, I'm sorry. It's just too bad for you.
She did not like me on those skates, girl.
She doesn't like anything that's out of the ordinary, you know?
Yeah.
But she's not gonna eat you. Gosh, the city's just dumb.
No, I know that. She's too sweet.
She is too sweet.
She'd lick me to death.
But yeah, so it was a really good date. And we are very excited to get to know her. She's gonna come over on Friday, and we're gonna cook for her.
Ooh.
Yeah, cause
good call.
Yeah, she met Joe, not realizing they didn't. She met him at work, cause he cooks, and she lives in the same town as the restaurant he works in. So They met on FetLife officially, but when she sent when he sent the pictures of like, oh, this is us, and he told her where he was working, and she was like, oh shit,
I know you.
She was like, I was there last Wednesday for trivia night. You handed me my food. And what's funny is I ask him all the time, anything happen at work? And he goes, the only thing that happened at work today was this chick came in who had these fat fucking tits. And it turns out it was her.
Oh
I got to
God.
motorboat those
Yes.
fat titties. I did. She gave me a hug at one point while we were out there talking. And I was just like, wait. Because we had joked earlier because she asked about my height comparisons and things.
Oh, okay.
Joe is 5'8". She's 5'7". I'm 5 feet. So she was like, I'm going to be an Amazon next to you. And I was like, girl, the
It's
tallest
okay.
person I've ever been with, the top of my head was at the bottom of their nipple. I ain't worried about it. Okay? Everybody's an Amazon next to me. And I was like, besides, that just means when you give me a hug, titties.
Yeah.
And so because I had made that joke earlier when she gave me a hug after we had kissed and everything, I was like, wait a second. And I motorboated her titties real fast.
You know, I gotta say, there's something about motorboating a nice pair of boobies.
Oh my God, seriously.
Something about it just is amazing.
Right? Boobies are wonderful.
I love boobies.
They're amazing.
I'm so happy I have some.
Oh my goodness, seriously.
So happy.
I freaking suck on my own sometimes.
Okay, so I got another request for photos that was, one of them is to take a picture of me biting my nipple with no hands. And I don't know if I can do that. I'm so sorry to let you down. I know you're listening. I'm very sorry. I don't know how to do it. I tried and I can't do it.
Is it because of the size? Or
Yeah, I can't like quite get my teeth down. I can lick my nipples, but I can't bite my nipples.
I have to try right now. I'm gonna do it. I'm trying to bite my nipples right now.
I can't do it.
You're just almost there too. You just gotta like stretch those titties, girl.
Can you do it?
How can you do
it? Bitch.
I got milk out of my titty just now when I bit it. Oh, look, girl, I got milk.
I can't get milk and cookies, anyone?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, we used to joke about squirting my milk into Joe's coffee in the morning instead of cream. But you know what the thing is I would totally have done it. He was joking. I was serious because I have that lactation kink. But because I have that lactation kink, when I stopped breastfeeding, I stopped because I couldn't handle the feel of the pump on me anymore. I was too raw because I was doing it every 2 fucking hours for 30 minutes at a time. Way too fucking much. It was insane. I mean, it's not too much for what the baby needs. It's too much for what your nipples want.
You can handle it. There's nothing wrong with that.
So I stopped altogether, but I still produce a little bit of milk and stuff. But I gave away my breast pump so that my friend could use it while she was working. And now I'm like, man, I gotta go get myself one of those cheap little hand pumps so I can keep my milk supply in, because I love that I can squeeze my tits at least twice a day and still squirt milk across the room.
Yeah, that's pretty hot. I can't wait. Oh my god,
girl.
I can't wait.
I had a friend who we were drinking one time, and she started squeezing, because she was still breastfeeding, she started squeezing her tits to express milk, and I was like, wait, don't waste the liquid gold, 'cause we were fucking hammered, right? And so I opened my mouth and I'm like, ah! And so she starts squeezing and shooting milk across my living room, okay? Which is not a freaking easy feat.
Yeah, no, it's
like,
a huge...
Oh, well, this was the living room of my apartment, so it was like half this size. But even still, to do it even across a small room, that's a feat. Yeah. Okay? So she's squeezing her tits and squeezing and shooting milk at me, and I have my mouth open, and I'm just going, ah! I'm like moving all around trying to catch it in my mouth. I get it all over my face and all over my arms. Then I'm licking her breast milk off of my face, and I'm like, tastes pretty good. You're sweet. And then she goes, it's really good for your skin too. And she like leaps up and rushes across the room and starts rubbing my arm and rubbing the breast milk into my arm.
What's the lotion on the skin?
And meanwhile, Joe's just in the kitchen going,
You good?
Can I come around the corner yet? Are the titties away? I'm not supposed to see her titties. Isaiah will be mad.
He's so precious.
He is very respectful. Very, very respectful. He wouldn't watch Miss May's porn until given explicit permission from Miss May.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Me and her were talking, like, what? I was telling you about some of my porn. Yeah. Like, Joe won't watch it. What do you mean Joe won't watch it? The fuck?
Yeah.
No, you have to give him permission. What are you, 12? Okay. You're so sweet.
He's just like, I can't do it. I know her. We weren't introduced in that context. So it's weird. She'll come over for the weekend barbecue and I'll be like, "Hi, Miss May. I watched you I watched you choke on a cock last night. But how are you?" Like,
You're so cute.
I was like, oh my goodness. Because it was because we were trying to teach him how to do the angles, which he's getting better at. He's getting better at the angles.
Yeah, it's practice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It all is practice.
Joe, you have my permission to watch my porn.
I'm pretty sure when you post it up on Pornhub, that's generalized permission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's there for you to see.
We're naughty.
One of my fans, and I love this shit, guys, so do it all the time. They sent me some tribute stuff today. And I was so excited. It was fun.
I love it. Okay. Fans, make it easier for us as your content producers.
Your entertainment.
Yes, as your lovelies. Make it a little easier for us, please, and tell us what you want. Tell us what you want to see.
We want explicit direction.
Yeah, we want to make you happy, and it's easier to make you happy if you tell us. Like, bend over, spread your ass cheeks, put the plug up it, and
bite your nipple.
Yeah. Like, tell us what you want to see. It makes it all the better. We will have an all-around wonderful experience.
Because when I know what I'm doing, I put more feeling into it.
Yeah, and the confidence is up too, because you're not sitting there questioning like,
should I do this? Should I do that?
Yeah,
no, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna own this shit.
Exactly. I know what you want. It goes with like your husband. You can walk in there, and for me, I can grab him by the cock and say, "We're gonna go to the bedroom now."
We're going right now.
Yeah. And I know exactly what he wants and all that other shit because we've had time to know each other. Well, in the content production, unless you're a long-term, fan, which takes time and relationship building, when you're getting to know each other, you need to learn how, how to interact and what we
want.
Questions,
because you're never going to know unless you figure it out.
So that's just what we ask of you, I guess, as our fans. Let us know what you like. We love to hear it. We are eager to please.
I'm in the business of making fantasies come true.
You make fantasies come true, girl.
Shit, girl.
Ooh, okay.
There it is.
So,
okay.
I bought these.
Yeah, you did.
Oh my god. Okay, so episode 7, part 1. We had to cut it into 2 episodes because we got super chatty. It was a 2-hour segment when I was editing.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm in the process. It's not even done being edited yet. I'm in the process of cutting it in half. And we're going to have a part 1 and part 2. But we talk about how you tied me up. And I loved it so much, I bought my own.
Your first set of rope.
I did. It's nylon, and it's super freaking soft. Oh my god.
Smooth. You're going to love it.
I am excited.
Practice.
Joe has been watching YouTube videos on how to do ties.
Okay.
Weird, but my ex-husband, he listens, which, I mean, that's fine. But getting some pretty explicit details.
But that's, I love
yeah,
you.
I appreciate the support. It's great, especially because he, passes word on to others. Listen to this podcast; it's great. But at the same time, him getting details is also a little bit like it's a little bit weird for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
So he messaged me, and I don't think he was trying to be weird, but he was like, oh, I heard that you were talking on your podcast about, you know, never being bound and Miss May and being curious about it. And he's like, if you want, I can recommend some ties that you could look up and try. And I was like, whoa.
Line.
Yeah. I was like, that's a little weird. That's a lot weird. That's a lot weird for me. I was like, I just ignored it because I was like, that crosses my comfort level. I'm like, we're cordial, and I'm friendly with you because we have a kid. But if I didn't have a kid with you, I wouldn't even talk to you. So that was super weird for me.
No, he's just being thoughtful.
He was, and I don't think he was trying to be weird. He's just that person that's just like, oh, let me help you, but didn't realize, like, boundary. I'm just like, wait, just because you listen to my podcast doesn't mean I want you to send me tips on ties. I don't know. Like, don't even want to know that you're being tied, because that's more than I would need to know about your life.
I'm just going to apologize now because I'm snacking on veggies and it's really loud, and I apologize.
We have a disorganized clusterfuck. Well, you do roller derby and skating before you come over and we record, which works out well because you have to come to my town to do it. But, you know, leaves bitches hungry.
I'm hungry.
Yeah. So we have dogs ruined, we have carrots crunching, we have chairs squeaking, and we have wine pouring. It's legitimately the girl talk hour, guys. So I hope you don't mind, because it's here.
It's not going anywhere.
Right? Freaking. I'm so excited to have the house to myself again.
Yeah, how was that?
Really difficult.
Was it? Yeah.
So I'm sitting here trying to post and organize everything, and because I got a new phone halfway through this voyage of my father staying here for almost 2 solid weeks, I'm like, I feel behind on content production because I couldn't just do anything anytime. I was trying to post and I had to access everything on the computer because I couldn't, it wasn't on my new phone. And so I'm sitting here like trying to turn the monitor so that he can't see what I'm doing.
You're working on.
But then I realized my computer screen is glass. So it's reflecting my goddamn monitor screen back into the living room, and I'm like, Nudie Judy's being flashed. I'm like, oh my god,
Dad
hopefully he's not fucking paying attention, because he is kind of oblivious to the world sometimes. I think 35 years on the police force used up all his detective skills, because, yeah. But, so trying to post was stressful. It was great when he was able to take the kids out of the house. Right. But, yeah, it was just a mess. And then the house was a disaster all the time because there's just everybody running around. And then he's like, let's go do this. Let's go do that. And I'm like, I need to clean my dishes. I haven't washed them in 3 days.
I have things I have to do today, Dad.
Yeah. And so that was stressful. But, unfortunately, I'm not going to be in-law or parental unit free for long because Joe's mom's coming now. She's going to be with us for 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, because she's supposed to live with Joe's sister, but their house that they were renting got sold. And they rented because his sister's in a wheelchair, so they have to be a little more particular about where they rent. So they had to go to this place that had a elevator to get up, but it was a new build, and the inspection wasn't done, but they have to be out already. So the sister, his sister got a hotel for her, or her husband, I should say, got a hotel for her, him, and her 2 kids, but didn't accommodate the mother-in-law he has, who lives with them and helps take care of them and helps pay their bills and literally, like, gave up everything she had to move up here and take care of her daughter and her kids. So she called us freaking out before my dad had even left, saying that she needed a place to crash. So she's gonna throw her mattress in, or hopefully she takes her whole goddamn bed frame, because 3 weeks is a long time. She's gonna take it and she's gonna throw it in Jackson's room, since technically right now it's just like an empty room. And she's gonna stay with us for 3 weeks. And I'm like, the only saving grace is that she does work, so I'll still have days where I can produce content. But I'm like, God damn it, I am trying to run an adult content production business, and y'all are fucking my shit up.
The fuck, yo?
I'm like, it's hard enough to work around my kids. Now I gotta work around parentals too.
Childcare. Just saying. Take advantage of it.
Seriously, I'm gonna be like,
can make some outdoor content.
Exactly. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna be like, you watch the kids, because she's super eager to watch the kids for us. She's like, go, 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 go. So I'm like, hey, I will take advantage of the little bit of time that you're at work for around the house. And then I'm going to shove my kids off on you and take Joe out, and we're going to do some freaking public shit. Because, yeah. He's worried about me making public content without him present. Because I was like, there was one day I was like, I'm going to go for a little hike. I was like, nothing crazy. Elope. I already know it's not going to be heavily traveled by tourists because it's not in the big state park area. I was like, but it's an area I already know. And I was like, and I'm just going to go and like record a quick little like public masturbation scene on this beach that I've already been to or some shit, you know? And he was like, well, I'm really worried about you doing that without someone else there. And I was like, well, why? And he goes, well, because you're a little, you know, girl out in the woods with your pants down, fucking masturbating and shit, recording content. You think you're going to be able to pay attention and notice if someone tries to sneak up on you? Yeah. And I was like, well, okay, you do have a point.
There.
I was like, but I do carry a gun. I was like...
So, like, I'm the wrong girl to try to take.
Yeah. I'm like, so...
The wrong
I was like, isn't that why we got the gun in the first place? So I could go hike in the woods by myself and protect myself from creatures, whether they be bears or rapists, because, you know, also to defend my house, but you know, we got the one that specifically fits in my waistband for a reason.
So I can go do crazy things and be safe.
Yes, exactly. So I was like, I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so I kind of have to coordinate for his comfort and everything and make him come too, which with his schedule is difficult.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
you know, I've never done public masturbation before.
Yeah.
But I have done, obviously, me and Jay fuck in public all the time.
Yeah.
It's like our thing.
That's funny.
I love it.
I love it. Freaking... I am the bitch who will flash you my booty as we walk down the street in, like, downtown Seattle. I've done it to Joe, and he was like, what are you doing? Bitch, put your ass away. And I was like,
make me.
What the fuck you gonna do about it? I was like, firstly, it's the middle of the night. The street's not super busy.
And secondly, that lucky person who gets to see your ass.
Right? I was like, it's not indecent exposure because my pussy or my booty hole's not out. I was like, there are bikinis that cover less than this.
Right? I am a huge advocate for flashing people. My mailman is one of my subscribers, so I flash him.
Oh, for real? Oh my god.
I love it. I flashed somebody on the ferry a couple weekends ago. We flashed the captain guy. Saw me. It was fun.
Nice. I've
I'm
never
all about
flashed just random people before.
Really?
Really. I always flash people I know, but in very public spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, they could see me, but I'm not intentionally like, hey.
I like flashing people. I'm really selective with who I flash, though.
You gotta catch a good vibe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jay, we go out on like driving dates, and we drive all the time.
I love driving topless.
Me too.
Yeah.
Every now and then, Jay will be like, "Flash his car." I have to do it, or else he's gonna beat the shit out of me.
That sounds
in the
bad.
best way.
I was like, abuse.
No. It's very wanted. Don't worry.
He's like, you're gonna get punished if you don't listen to me.
Bitch, I'll make your ass
Joe
bleed.
wants me. He's like, I want you to go out and be a whore. Go out and be a fucking naughty whore. And he's told me, he's like, are you gonna get as much dick as you can while I'm at work? And I'm like, I'll do what I can, babe.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. And then he'll come home and he'll be like, so, how much dick did you get today? And if I don't tell him that I got, like, multiple dicks, he's disappointed.
Oh, you
He's
let me
just
down.
like, what? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I tried. You know, it's not exactly easy to get people over here to fuck you at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon, okay?
Yeah,
Everybody's at work.
Yeah, man, it's actually harder than most people think. Like, booty calls actually take some, like, suave. Like, you know, sucks.
It's
Nothing's
not quite as
anymore.
spontaneous as you would like it to be.
Smart.
I had one dude that it was really spontaneous with, and it was kind of awesome. But it was also, he worked night shifts.
Oh, so it was easy for him.
Yeah, he worked night shifts, so he would catch me to or from the gym, to or from work, on his lunch break at work, which happens to be at 10 to 10:30 at night, you know. So
those convenient times he was available.
Exactly. Because before work happened to be mid-afternoon during my baby's nap while my daughter was at school.
So yeah, come on over and get you some.
Exactly. I'm like, yo, great timing. But make it quick, because if you wait too long, this baby's going to wake up, and we're going to have significantly less time.
Is this the cat that deployed?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
He messaged me, though.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, he still messages every once in a while when he has a chance. I mean, obviously, he's going to use first contacts for his wife and kids and family, and of course, absolutely, as it should be. Mm-hmm. But he'll message me every once in a while on Snap. Okay, so I have the writing picture that I did.
Okay.
Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Well, I sent a couple of pictures. I have a video. I think I put the video up, but he's not on my OnlyFans. But I was like, I think I should send this to him because he liked when I would call him daddy. Ooh. There's a video. Oh, he even told me. He's the one that I told you would be down to do a BBC video with us when he got back from deployment. And he's like, I'll fucking record a video because I could wear a mask. Oh, yeah.
I could wear a mask.
He's like, I don't fucking care. I'll wear a mask. They don't gotta see my face. Let's fucking do this. And he's like, he messaged me and he goes, God, I miss that pussy. Oh. I was like, it's not that good. What you talking about?
Okay, so I just want to point out that
it can't be that good.
In the slut world, that is like one of the highest compliments.
I know. God, I miss that pussy. Like,
yeah, but you do.
I'm like, yeah, I bet you do, Daddy. I'm sorry you're deployed. I'll be here when you get back.
Yeah.
We gotta have a conversation about these condoms, though, because they irritate my coochie. I'm like, I'll wave my clean STD test at you.
I'm clean and I can't get pregnant, so you're good, bro.
Right?
You're good.
Well, originally, when he and I started hooking up, we weren't using condoms. Mm-hmm. Because my tubes are tied and you can't get me pregnant. But after a few hookups, he messaged me and he was like, hey, do you mind if we start using condoms? And I was like, well, I mean, I really kind of do, but what's the issue? Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, I'm kind of paranoid. I have a friend who was, doing the same thing I'm doing, and someone lied to him, and he caught, some shit. And I was like, oh, well, that's really shitty. I'm sorry that happened to your friend.
Yeah.
So, like, I understand. He's like, I'm married, and my wife is fine with my lifestyle on the side, but she doesn't want me bringing anything home to her.
Yeah, no, that
and I
makes
was
sense.
like, no, that makes absolute sense. And I'm like, I can't be mad at you for wanting to be safe, especially trying to protect your wife and shit. So I was like, yeah, we can. But, like, it's just so uncomfortable.
Use these, like, special kind of condoms, so you see.
Yeah.
Like,
And even with those ones, it's
not good.
minimal. I can go for so long before it becomes a problem. And he's one who he's like, I can come over today, and then I'll come and catch you again at lunch break. And then I'll come over tomorrow and catch you at lunch break. Like, he's got a sex drive that matches mine. He said that the reason he and his wife are in the open dynamic is because he's a sex addict and he's deployed a lot. And he's like, I'm not around you all the time to get it. And she's like, no, okay, I understand. Like,
you have your needs.
Yes. So he's super high sex drive, so he could come and get it multiple times a day. So I'm just like, at a certain point, I can't fuck you anymore because we're using condoms and it's causing me irritation.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe we can work that out when he gets back.
Yeah.
But, because I was about to have that conversation with him because he had come over multiple times in a week, and I was like, yo, you want to come and hook up with me again before you, leave, but I can't because I am raw. I was like, I can't.
The condom's gotta...
Yeah. So I was about to have that conversation with him and be like, look, if I go in, I understand that you're paranoid, good reasons, but if I bring in a fresh test and show you, like, I just got tested, can we nix the condoms, And then he was like, oh, but I'm going to be gone for a year. And I was like, well, I guess I'll have this conversation if you hit me up in a year when you get back.
Okay.
But, condoms are bad.
Damn condoms. So Jay and I used a condom, I think maybe twice in our entire relationship. The first time it was when was it? It was before we were like official. We were like trying to be safe or whatever. And then like halfway through he was like, do you care? And I was like, no. He's like, fuck this shit. So I took it off. And then the second time was when I got my IUD out, and we were like, well, we should probably just be safe because I don't want to pull out, So we put it on, and we had sex with it on, and it was awful, and we've never used one since.
Yeah.
And it's just, they're great, but they're awful.
Joe and I have never used a condom. And my thing is with condoms, okay, if you're young, especially if you are not on birth control, and by young, I mean a teenager.
Yeah.
If you are not responsible for paying your own goddamn bills, absolutely 100%, you wrap that shit or don't even fucking try. Especially because a lot of you are not on birth control.
No glove, no love.
Exactly. Because y'all are way too young to be having babies. Take it for someone who got pregnant and miscarried in the high school bathroom at 15. Okay.
Don't do it.
Yeah, not a good plan. Not a good plan. However, as an adult, if you make the choice not to use condoms, my only thing is don't get mad when you get pregnant.
Yeah, you gotta reap what you sow.
Right? Like, I have someone that I knew who they had one baby, they got pregnant, they aborted because they weren't ready for another baby, and then within the same year they got pregnant again, and they were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep it this time, but someone told them, wow, you really should, get yourself on birth control.
Yeah.
And it offended them.
What?
Oh yeah, it offended her so badly. And I was like, well, you didn't want to get pregnant again right away. You wanted more time, all these other things. You're in a rocky spot in your relationship, like all these things that are adding up. So being an adult and relying on the pull-out method and then being surprised when you get pregnant is stupid.
Yeah, it's not logical.
Yeah.
It's not logical.
Like, don't be surprised or angry when you get pregnant if you're making the choice not to use condoms or birth control.
Right. That's an unnecessary risk.
Yeah.
Preventable.
We actually went into that conversation with this woman too, because that's my biggest thing is I'm terrified of a oopsie baby outside of our relationship.
Oh yeah.
So I'm very happy that she has an IUD. Because Joe won't use condoms. Actually, after the conversation, like we with the whole like situation with you, I was like, we probably should have been a little more careful that night. Like we all agreed on that. We should have been a little more cautious. But he was like, I'm not going to fuck around if I have to use a condom. He's like, I'm too hairy. Using a condoms pulls on all my fucking hair. Even when he trims down and stuff, he's like, it's so uncomfortable. I'd rather not fuck at all than use a condom. And I was like, I can respect that. But then that also brought up the whole like vasectomy thing, because we had already decided that he was going to get the vasectomy to completely eliminate the problem. And so he was like, oh, well, I just won't fuck around until the vasectomy is done. He's like, my consultation's already scheduled. I haven't been fucking around this long. If I have to wait a few more weeks, who the fuck cares? Yeah. So when we started talking to this other chick, and I brought it up, and she was like, oh, I have an IUD. And I was like, oh, look at that, babe. Cool. You'll be fine. You can still bang her out while we wait for the fucking vasectomy to be scheduled. Yeah. So, it's exciting. Well, my little dog, she's all curling up in a little ball. Cute. My dogs are giant beasts, and they sleep on a baby crib mattress.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's a crib mattress. Okay. Our friend, when they were moving to Virginia, they decided they were going to upgrade their son's bed from the little tiny toddler beds to like a full-size twin. So they gave us that. And we use it for the dogs, because we had already bought a crib for the baby, because I was still pregnant at the time. And it was funny, when we were walking out of the store with the crib mattress in tow, this woman passes and goes, oh my god, that would make a great dog bed. And her man looks at her and goes, it's a fucking baby mattress, you retard. And she goes, I know that. And I just stopped in my tracks and I yelled back at her. I was all, hey, I like the way you fucking think. This is a good dog bed. Especially because I have giant beasts. I mean, my dog weighs as much as I do. And we've spent $50 on all the super nice dog beds. Oh, yeah. And they all get destroyed so fast. The baby crib mattress, $60. We've had it for a year. It's made of that material you can just wipe the fuck down.
Like the microfiber stuff? Not
even the microfiber. It's like that vinyl-y material. Okay. So I can take the sheet off, throw it in the wash, wipe down the mattress surface with disinfectant cleaner, and then put the fucking clean cover back on. Yeah. It's the best goddamn... Like, okay, listeners, never buy a goddamn dog bed again. Go get yourself a baby crib mattress and throw that motherfucker on the floor in front of your fireplace. Your dog will be so much happier.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
She's just sleeping peaceful. Anyway, that was just a random sidebar because my dog's cute. But I think that's everything for this week, Miss May. How about you? What do you think? Do you have any more stories?
Not really.
It was a very vanilla week.
Yeah, I'm not used to it.
It's because of the periods.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, we all synced up. Weird.
We did. Oh my god. Which is so funny. May and I have synced up, as well as the woman my husband and I went out with on a date over the weekend. She and I both texted at the fucking almost exact same time, like an hour apart from each other. Oh my god, I just started my period after getting home from the date, which is crazy. Okay, we're gonna close on a story.
Okay.
This periods brought up this story from my husband.
Oh.
Apparently, when he was a teenager, age unspecified, he went, and it got brought up from booty smacks and periods.
Okay.
He went up behind his girlfriend. She was like wearing a little skirt and no panties. And yeah, ballsy fucking teenage girl.
Yeah. Wow.
So she's wearing this little skirt and no panties apparently, and she bent over in front of him, and he got all excited and went over and smacked her ass full force, like as hard as he could, and apparently it startled her, and she clenched so tight at that she had started her period and hadn't like started to flow enough yet, but that the clench when he smacked her ass and startled her squeezed blood out of her body and shot it up against the wall.
That poor girl.
Right?
Oh my
and Joe
God.
apparently looked down at his hand and was like, what the fuck? Where did this blood come from? And she was just fucking mortified. Her period blood's on her living room fucking wall. Like, oh my God. He told me this and I was embarrassed for her and it didn't happen to me. And I was like, oh my God.
No, I feel nervous now.
Right?
Poor thing.
I'm like blushing and it's not even my story. I was dying so hard though. I was like, oh my God, I have to share this with May. That
Poor
is
girl.
the most mortifying thing that I think could happen to you as a teenager getting your period.
Yeah, no, I don't think I would ever like go to school ever again.
Well, she was at home, thank God.
Yeah, that's better.
But I think getting your period at school and like bleeding everywhere is the only way that you could be more embarrassed than that.
Oh,
Like,
that
because
sucks.
we had to clean her period blood off the wall. And it was in a spot, he's like, I'm not 100% sure that it didn't stain. And I was like, oh my
She had to look at it
fucking
all the
God.
time. Poor thing.
I'm just like, I hope her parents didn't ask where that stain came from. Like my dad and the vomit on the floor with the cat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, God.
Oh, all right. Well, closing on a comedy note.
Yeah.
We hope you're enjoying our podcast, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you being here. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you're the reason we do this. It's a lot of fun. I
It
like
is.
entertaining you guys.
It is fun. Contact us at mommysblackbookpodcast at gmail.com, Facebook, Instagram at mommysblackbookpodcast. Make sure you've got your notifications on. Catch us every Friday. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye.